Namaste, good evening, and welcome back to the second day of this workshop. My friends, yesterday many of you had such beautiful things to say to us, and we are, to be honest, very overwhelmed to see your love and support. And as I have repeated yesterday, none of this would have been possible without your dear college management support as well. My dear friends, for those of you who are joining for the first time today, maybe you missed yesterday's session for any reason. My name is Rohit. I'm the one who's hosting this workshop. We are here representing Rooman Technologies, and today we are going to continue and do some coding. What coding are we going to do, you might ask? See, the thing is, in the next 1.5 hours, I want to bring some kind of a change in you. I want to bring some kind of an approach into you. And to be honest, I want to give you some tool which can actually have some kind of impact in your interview preparation, right? All of you know that 100% when you go to the interview, right? At least 9 out of 10 interviews you attend will have a question on something called as pattern programming. Now, what do you mean by pattern programming is what you must be thinking. Well, for those of you who don't know, pattern programming is, as the name suggests, writing code to generate patterns like this. This could be a pattern. This could be another 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 pattern, like this. These are only patterns. You have to write logical code which can generate this kind of an output on your screen. That is the expectation. On your monitor screen, this kind of an output you should be able to generate. In fact, let me tell you, if you focus every minute, if you avoid distractions, then by the end of this session, my dear friend, this is the pattern which you are going to be able to code. Which is that pattern, you ask me? This is the one. As you can see, this is how it looks. Yes. Some of you might be thinking, is this possible? 100% it is possible. Just a little bit of logical thinking is what you must be generating within yourself, right? So let us start, my dear friend. Without wasting any more time, first and foremost, what I want to do is start with the most basic program, right? What do you mean, you might ask? See, ultimately, whatever pattern programming you're going to do is to display something here. Now, to display anything in Python, we have to be using a function called as print. To display anything on your monitor screen, you must be using a function called as print. Now, some of you will be thinking, sir, is there a reason why we are selecting Python? Why not Java? Why not C? Why not C++? Why not JavaScript? Why not C#? My friend, whatever I'm going to teach you, you can easily rewrite the same logic, same code in all the programming languages. There's not a single language which cannot achieve this for you. But why I'm choosing Python is because it is the most easiest language syntax-wise. Because I don't know if everyone here knows Java. I don't know if everyone knows C or C++. I don't know how many of you know JavaScript. But definitely, irrespective of whether you know or you don't know any language, whatever code I will be today writing in Python will be crystal clear to you because the nature of the language is such ridiculously easy syntax, right? So please understand, I want to print one single star here. I want to print a single star here. Now, what you should do is, inside this print function, within quotations, within quotes, you must put whatever you want to print. It can be within single quotes, it can be within double quotes. In Python, it does not matter. Quotations is what you should use. So like this, if in case I put a star within these quotations, then print by nature will ensure that that star comes and gets printed inside the screen like this. And if you look at this cursor after printing, will automatically always be taken to the next line, my friend. This is something you must keep at the back of your mind because to successfully code patterns, you must understand the nature of print. If you understand the nature of print, you'll be able to manipulate its function in a way that you'll be able to print patterns the way you choose it to be, right? Anyways, this much I would like to type and show you, right? So this is my editor. On my editor, I'm just going to now tell, I'll just bring the cursor down and I will just tell print like this. I'll just tell print. and within quotations, single quotes or double, you can use whatever you want. I'll just tell star like this. Now you must understand, this is a complete Python program, because yesterday I told you, no need for a main function. Absolutely, there is no need for any header files to be included. No class is required. None of that is required. This is a complete Python program. Behind the scenes, I have saved this in a .py file. I've saved it in a .py file. Now I want to execute it. To execute it, you must go to the command prompt. So what I'm going to do is, I'll take you to my command prompt. There, I'm just going to use a command called as Python. That is the way you execute a Python code. Technically speaking, the reason why you're telling Python is so that you activate a software in Python called as a Python interpreter. But again, I'm not going to the details of it. You must leave a space and then tell the file inside which the code is there. And this is the file. It is test.py. That is where I have placed the code. Now you can see the moment I press enter, a star got printed, and you can see between that star and C user studio, that drive directory, there is a space because the cursor had come to the next line. So it printed, took the cursor to the next line. So I hope till here whatever I spoke is crystal clear to all of you. And if it is clear, put a yes in the chat so that I know, yes, you are awake. I know the weather, especially here in Bangalore, is really nice and pleasant. You might just want to put your blanket and sleep. But I hope you're listening. Yes? All are saying yes. Wonderful. Good. Now, let me take you back to my code. Right? See, my friend, now we printed one star. Okay? Next, what do I want to do? You might ask. Next, what I want to do is, like this, I want to print not just one star. I want to print 5 stars like this. See, 1 star, 2nd star, 3rd star, 4th star, 5th star. Clearly, you can see in each line or in each row, there is 1 star. Star, next line, star, next line, star, next line, star, next line, so on and so forth. How are we going to do this is something you must be thinking. Now, there are different ways to do it. A non-programmer's role or approach would be, hey, you want 5 stars, just repeat this print statement 5 times. Yes, that will also work. Watch it. I'm just going to repeat this print statement 5 times. This will also work because it will print, take the cursor to the next line, print, take the cursor to the next line, print, next line, print, next line, next line. You should get this output. Will this happen? 100%. Let us go execute it and check it out. If in case I take you back to my command prompt, and if in case I just put the relevant command and I press enter, clearly you can see you have got the output. No doubt about it, right? But those of you who have done any coding in your life know that this is not the right way to do things. Because as a programmer, you must never repeat yourself. In fact, one of the core programming principles that you as future developers must imbibe is the DRY principle. What does DRY stand for? D for do not, R for repeat, Y for yourself. Do not repeat yourself, but you're clearly repeating yourself. There is another way to do this. How, if you ask me? You tell it once, but you can write code which will repeat that for you how many ever times you choose. And how do we do that, if you ask me? That is where a concept of loops come into the picture. I'm sure all of you have heard this loop concept. But anyways, before that, what if I didn't want to print it one below the other, I wanted to print it one next to the other like this. We will speak about loops. We will speak about efficiency. But what if I wanted it to come one next to the other like this? How are we going to do that? Because by nature, print is going to print and take the cursor to the next line. But if this should happen, I must print and ensure that the cursor remains on the same line. Now, some of you super smart people might tell, what is there in this, sir? You remove all these print statements, put 5 stars here itself, you tell. Wonderful. If you use such an approach in your interview, it will be a very, very short but not a sweet interview for sure, right? If you're ready to hear things from the interviewer, go ahead. Just here tell star, 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 it will be achieved. But that is not the way to do it. That is not the kind of logic I'm trying to build for you today, right? So my dear friend, what to do? What to do is, I must manipulate print in such a way that I must tell, hey, print print, but do not take the cursor to the next line. How are we going to do this? Simple. Give additional information to print. How, you might ask? Watch it. After that quotation, that's closing quote in the first print, I'll put a comma. And here I'm going to tell that extra information to print, that hey, print star, but don't take the cursor to the next line. How? By telling end equal to, and I will just put open quote, close quote. There is no space here. See, if I leave a space, it looks like this. There is no space here. What you're trying to say is print and end by doing nothing. Don't take it to the next line. Because automatically, what was here when you didn't tell anything was a slash n, like this. This is what was there, slash n. What does slash n means? Slash n means new line. Print a star, take the cursor to the new line. That's why it was working. But I'm telling, don't do this. See, I'm removing that. Don't do anything. Cursor will be on the same line. Same information I should give to others. So I'll just copy that end equal to, and or I'll just repeat that line 4 more times. I hope I'm clear. Will this work? Why are you asking me? Let's go execute. If I take you back to my cursor, my browser or my output window, and if in case I just put in the relevant command and press enter, clearly you can see 5 stars are on the same line. Same line. Beautiful. So now you understood how to print something on the same line, how to print something on the next line. This is the foundation of pattern programming. There is one more component in this foundation, which is not to repeat yourself, you must understand loops. Now, Python is very, very famous for one type of loop called as the for loop. I just want to introduce you to the for loop in Python. Then we are ready to go and explore all the different kinds of patterns we will be solving today. So watch it, my dear friend. What I'm trying to tell you is that we must understand a concept called as loops in Python. Now, what do we mean by loop? That I will tell you. Anyways, I'm just showing you how this works. Print, cursor remains on the same line. Then the next thing is print, cursor remains on the same line. Then next, it's printed, cursor remains on the same line, print same line, like that. I hope this is clear to all of you. Anyways, I'll just remove this. Now, it's time for us to discuss loops. See, whenever we speak about loops, as I told you, there are 2 types of loops in Python. For loop, while loop. I'm not even going to touch the while loop today, because all that I want to do in pattern programming can be achieved using the for loop itself, right? Now, see, for a loop, you must always tell how many times looping should happen. Now, how will I tell how many times looping should happen? It's very simple. Think about it. Here, I want this one statement to repeat for a total of 5 times, right? Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times it should happen. So one way to say that is, I want something to happen for 5 times. I can start my count from 1. Like, so 5, I can tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this I can tell. One more way to count, how programmers count is, their count always doesn't start from 1. Count always starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are nothing but 1 and the same. So this count I want to generate, my friends. How am I going to generate this list of numbers, if you ask me? For that, one function, if you call in Python, matter is over. What is that function, if you ask me? That, my friend, is nothing but the range function. Because don't you think this is a range of values? It starts from a certain value, it stops at a certain value. That is only the range. And that is what you must mention here also. From which number it should start, till which number it should go. That is your start and stop. But something you must understand, whatever you give in start is inclusive in nature. Whatever you give in stop is exclusive in nature. What do I mean? What I mean to say is, if you tell 0, 4, you will not get till 0 to 4 because 0 will be present, 1 will be present, 2 will be present, 3 will be present. But 4 will not be present because it is exclusive. You will get up to 4, but not 4. So if you want from 0 to 4, always ensure you're telling one number ahead. So if you tell from 0 to 5, you'll get 0 to 4. Any confusion till here? And that is what I'm also just showing you, 0, 5. If you just tell range of 0, 5, this range you will get. Now, how to take this and attach it to a for loop, if you ask me, that is the syntax which I'm just trying to show you. If I want my loop to execute 5 times, I have to generate a list of 5 numbers or a count from 0 till 4. For that, all I will do is I will tell range 0, 5. This I want to attach to a for loop. The syntax is, to tell Python you're using a for loop, you must always tell for. To keep track of which iteration you are in, you must always create a variable. I would like to traditionally call this variable as I. To attach these two guys, in between, you must place something called as in, like this. So remember, for I in range means whatever I will put inside this is going to execute for a total of how many times? 5 times. But now, something about Python you must understand. Other programming languages, what you would have done is, here an opening bracket you would have put, a closing bracket you would have put, inside that statements you would have put. And then the language knows that whatever is written inside those brackets belongs to the loop. But in Python, there is no concept of brackets. In Python, you must use something called as indentation. Indentation is a fancy word for spacing. What do I mean by that, you might ask? See, first of all, to tell whatever I'm going to write is inside the for loop, after this range, one colon I should put like this. See here, not a semicolon, colon, full colon. After which, starting from this F, right, 4 spaces inside you should go. And there you must place whatever statements you want. Now, how this works is, first time when the loop executes, in the range, first number of the range is generated, which is 0 in this case. That 0 value is given to I. So I knows this is the 0th iteration or the first iteration. Enter, execute the statements. You are within a loop, control goes back to range. Range generates the next number, which is in this case is nothing but 1. 1 is generated, that 1 is given to I. Enter, execute. You're within a loop, again process repeats. The next number in the range is generated, and in this case that range number is nothing but 2. 2 is generated, that 2 is then given to I knows that it is the third iteration, 0, 1, 2. Enter, execute the statements, repeat. Next number is generated, next number is nothing but 3. 3 is given to I, like this. Then again you enter, execute the statements, repeat. Next number is generated, which is nothing but 4. Once 4 is generated, that 4 is given to I now knows it is the 5th iteration. I will enter, after which execute, and this time when it repeats, tell me, will the next number be generated? No, because 5 is exclusive. 0 to 4 will be generated. No number is generated, you will come out of the loop. So easy. In other languages, you had to take care of initialization. You had to check for condition, incrementation, decrementation, so many things you have to do in Python. None of that is required. That is the power of the for loop in Python, right? But behind the scenes, there is a lot of concepts which is working. Something called as an iterator is working, an iterable protocol is working. Many things are working. Forget about all of that, but I hope this general looping is clear to all of you. Anyways, I'm just going to remove this, right? Now, let me show you how to convert this into a simple loop. So I'll go back to my code, and in my code, what I'm going to do is I'll remove all these 4 lines, last 4 lines I'll remove. I don't want it. This is the only statement. I will cut that statement and keep it. I'll just cut it and keep it. Now, I'll tell for I in range. 5 times I want to execute. So 0, 5 I will tell. Start is 0, stop is 5. Colon I will put. And see, the moment I press enter, automatically the cursor comes 4 spaces inside. Indentation. There, I will just paste whatever I cut. Like this. That's all. Now, if in case I execute it, same output you should get. Tell me, will 5 stars come in different lines, one below the other, or will it come in the same line? Let me see how many of you are focusing. New line or same line? What will the output be? Okay, good. Thank you for listening. Anyways, let us go and execute. So if I go back to my output window, put in the relevant command, and the moment I press enter, there you go. Same output, but the code has drastically reduced and you did not repeat yourself. I'll go back to my editor, right? So now you must understand. Let us now first code our first pattern. So before that, I will just remove this code or let that code be there. This is my first pattern, which I'm going to be doing, right? And this is what that pattern looks like. Look at it carefully. What you have been able to do is, this part you are able to do. 5 stars on the same line is what this code does for you. But I want that to repeat 5 more times. Logical? What you have written so far will give you 1 row. I want that to repeat 5 times. Totally 5 times it should repeat. Which means, don't you think, if this code can be repeated for a total of 5 times, I should get that as my output. That's all. Which means, can I make this code to repeat 5 times? Yes. One way to do it is take this, copy paste it 5 times. Don't do that mistake. Take this, put it inside another loop. That's all. Can we have a loop inside a loop, sir? You ask me. Definitely you can have. What is the problem? Let me show you. I'll just cut this code. Now, I'll create a loop which will execute whatever code I put inside it 5 times. So I will tell for, right? I itself I will tell, in I will tell, range I will tell, and for 5 times I will tell 0, 5. Colon I will put. That's it. I'll press enter. Now whatever I cut, I will paste it. But when I paste it, indentation is not maintained. Did you see? But if this code should be belonging to this for loop, indentation you must do. So here, I'll press a tab, 4 spaces. But this code should be inside the second for loop. So again, I will press a tab. You see how indentation works? For loop inside a for loop. But here also I told I. Here also I'm telling I. I don't want name clashes to happen. Let's call this as J. As simple as that. So 5 rows or 1 row of 5 stars is being repeated 5 times. That's all that is happening. Will it work? Let's go check it out. If in case I go back, put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, unfortunately, this is how I got. Yes, I got 25 stars, but 25 stars on the same line. But how did I want? I wanted 5 stars first. See that? I'm highlighting that. 5 stars first I wanted. Next 5 stars should not come in the same line. Next 5 stars should have come on the next line. Then the next 5 stars should have come on the next line. Then the next 5 stars should have come on the next line. Then the last 5 stars should have come on a different line. But that didn't happen. Why? Because that is how the code you have written. So what should we do? Think about it. It's very easy. If you think about it, first time this loop executes, first time you will enter. Another loop is there. When this loop executes, 5 stars gets printed, right? After that, again you will go back. But this before the second time 5 stars is printed, don't you think between this loop ending and this loop starting, you should forcefully take the cursor to the next line? How will you do that? Simple. I told you the answer always lies in print. Tell me, what was the automatic or default behavior of print, guys? What was the default behavior of print? Default behavior of print was, if you tell print, it will print and take the cursor to the next line. Correct? Let us do that. So watch it. See carefully. Syntax is important. I will come outside this loop. See, I'll go to that end. After that, press enter. If I press enter, I'm still inside this loop. No, I want to be inside the outer loop. So see here, I'll bring the cursor where this F is. So I'm inside the outer loop, but I'm outside the inner loop. Once 5 stars are printed on the same line, before the next looping starts, I will take the cursor to the next line. How? By just calling an empty print. That's it. How will this work? You might ask. Simple. See, it's not compulsory that you must print something. But the way print works is, it will print. Something or nothing is secondary. It will print. Take the cursor to the next line. So 5 stars, next line. Then next time loop executes, 5 stars, next line. That's all. Will this work? 100%. If I take you back to my programming code, and if in case I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, then watch it. There you go. As simple as that. Now, if I take you back to my editor, I want you to think, right? Now, this time, how many rows were created? 5 rows, correct? But what if I wanted in general, I want to tell in general, how many rows should be there, right? How will you do that? You might ask. Simple. For that, what I will do is, I'll go on top. And there, I'll just tell n equal to. And maybe I'll tell n equal to 10, right? These are the number of rows I want. I want 10 rows of 5 stars each. Now think and answer, which of these loops is taking care of the number of rows? Think and tell me, is it I loop or J loop? Which is taking care of the number of rows? Think and answer. I or J? Vineet says I. Tejas says I. Okay. Great. Majority are saying I. Absolutely. It is I which is deciding how many rows. So all I will do is, instead of me telling 5 here, I will remove that 5. And in general, I will tell whatever is n value, that should be the value. Like this, that's all. Now, automatically I will get 10 rows of 5 stars each. Really will this happen? Watch it. If in case I go back, and if in case I put in the relevant command and press enter, there you go. Any confusion? Now, you want it to be literally like a square. If that is what you want, you need 10 stars here also, isn't it? You need 10 stars in every row. For that, just go and change the J loop as well. In the J loop, I've told every row should have only 5 stars, but there I will change that 5 and make it as n. Like this. That's all. Now, if in case I go back, and if in case I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, as you can see, like this. Actually, in interviews, you will be expected to take input from the user, directly from the user via the keyboard. You should take how many rows. But again, I cannot go into the depth of Python and tell you how to take input from the keyboard, but that is fine, because then typecasting, all of that I should explain. But I hope this program is clear to you. Great, wonderful. Let's quickly go and do another pattern, but I hope foundation is straight for you. How to print, how to loop. These two things, if you know, all the patterns which we are going to do from here onwards becomes easy for you. Which is the next pattern we are going to do? You must be curious. My friend, this is the next pattern which I want to do. 1 1 1 1 1, 2 2 2 2 2, 3 3 3 3 3, 4 4 4 4 4, 5 5 5 5 like this. And I'm just putting grid so that it becomes easier for you, right? 0th row, first row, second row, third row, fourth row. Who's taking care of rows is I. These are the columns in each row, or here traditionally we are calling it as stars. Who's taking care of the columns in a row is nothing but J, and that is why there also I've shown J. Any confusion till this point of time? Now think about it. You should easily give me the answer. Tell me, what should I change here such that in the first row I will get 1 1 1 1 1, second row I will get 2 2 2 2 2, 3 3 3 3, 4 4 4 4, 5 5 5 5. What should I do? Let me see who will give me the answer. Gurudev, thank you for giving me the complete logic, Gurudev. But definitely you are absolutely right. Simple, guys. Look at this. What is the I value? 0. But what should come in the 0th row? 1. How will you convert 0 to 1? By adding 1 to it. How will you convert 1 to 2? By adding 1 to it. How will you convert 2 to 3? Plus 1. How will you convert 3 to 4? Plus 1. How will you convert 4 to 1? Plus 1. Which means whatever is the I value, add 1 to that, and that is what you should be printing n times, or in this case 5 times. That's all you should do. So what will you do if you ask me? Just one change. See, I will go wherever I told star, that star I will remove. I'll remove that star. And there I will tell whatever is the I value, I will tell. Plus 1. That is what you should print. Now you might ask, some of you might be thinking, sir, why didn't you put it within quotes, sir? My friend, if I put it within quotes, the value of I plus 1 will not get printed. What will get printed is I plus 1 itself. That would be a mistake. I don't want that. I don't want I plus 1 to be printed. I want a value of I plus 1 to be printed. So you must not put it within quotes. Any confusion? Anyways, that n value, I will make it as 5. So that we have 5 rows and 5 values in each row, right? Now, if in case I go back, and if in case I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, then there you go. Simple as that. Any confusion till this point of time? Now, some of you will be thinking, sir, can we have a space between each of these values so that it will look better? I want a space between each of the values. Can you do that? Easily you can do. How to do it, you might ask. Let me show you, and I want you to focus here. Little bit of your attention and thinking is required. See, Look at the way we have written print. What am I telling? Print I plus 1 and end printing by doing nothing. So the cursor remains on the same line. If I tell slash n, it will take the cursor to the next line. But I don't want it to go to the next line also. I don't want it to do nothing also. I wanted to print I plus 1 and then I wanted to leave a space. That's how I wanted to end printing. How to do that? Just leave a space. That's it. Print I plus 1, leave a space. Cursor remains on the same line. Print the next value, leave a space. So watch it. If in case I take you back to my browser window, if in case I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, then now it looks much better. So pattern programming is given for a reason in the interviews. It's to just think or just make you think logically, to understand whether the person who they're thinking of paying lakhs of rupees per annum has logical ability. And of course, pattern programming is not the only type of questions which is asked, but many freshers struggle with such simple questions, mainly because of one reason, which is throughout their academics, you only focused on one part, which is how to score good marks in your academics, how to get a good CGPA, how to get a good percentage. Yes, that is extremely important, but that is not sufficient. You should have also personally put in some time and effort to code, to fall in love with coding, to build your logical ability in coding. But even now it is not too late. Let me tell you, 4 months, if you focus and put effort, 4 months later, you will be a different person altogether. 120 days from now, you can change the entire way your approach is towards coding. But main thing is focus. Main thing is dedication. And even more important is commitment. It's not one day. Today I told this. Some of you will feel, yes, Rohit told, now I will go, I'll code. One day you'll code. Second day, damar. That is not how it should be. That is where determination and commitment comes into a picture. And many a times, that is the small difference between a person who's successful and a person who's unsuccessful, right? So it's not brains, it's not fate, it's not luck. Those play minimal role. But this is the majority. Anyways, I hope this is clear to you. Let's go do another pattern quickly, shall we? I know all of you are very smart and easily you should be able to tell me the logic for this. And this is the pattern which I want to do this time. Look at it. This is the pattern which I want to do. To make it more clear, let me just put it within a grid so that you understand. So these are my rows. This is the 0th row. This is the first row. This is the second row. This is the third row. And this is the 4th row. 5 rows I have. Those are my columns, which I'm just showing you. So this is my 0th column. This is my first column, second column, third column, 4th column. Technically, what this is your star pattern only. Stars only, but there are few spaces which is empty, missing. How will you write code in such a way that these places are missing? It's simple. Mechanically, you should not print. You should check for a condition and print. Now, how will we arrive at a condition, you might ask? Simple, guys. Look at it. If the row is 0, right? This is I is for row, J is for the columns in each row. If the row is 0, definitely I should be printing stars. No doubt about it. Similarly, these other rows, I cannot speak clearly because there are empty spaces. But if it is my last row, I'm 100% certain I should be printing all stars. So if I is 0, print stars. Of course, here I've told I plus 1. That doesn't matter. We'll replace it with stars. If I is 4, or in general n means last one, right? Then I should be printing. If at all, the column is 0. See, 0th column also, everywhere stars are there. I don't know about these other columns, but if it is the last column also, stars are there, right? In between, I can't speak. But what I can speak about is if it is first row, print, last row, print, first column, print, last column, print. That's it. Any confusion till this point of time? So how are we going to do this, you might ask? It's very, very simple, my dear friend. Watch it and understand it carefully. First of all, that I plus 1, I will replace it with a star there. That I plus 1, I will replace it with a star. Right, as of now, if I just go execute, look at this. I'll put in the relevant command, and if in case I just execute it like this, how many rows have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows you have got. But this middle part should be missing. That middle part should be removed. How are we going to do this? Watch it. I will go back. And there, what I'm going to do is, just so that you can easily correlate these numbers, instead of telling n, there you just make it as 5 and 5 itself. I'll just make it as 5 and 5 so that you can easily correlate, right? Now watch it. This print part, I will just cut it. Instead of directly printing, first one condition I will check. How will you check for condition? The way you speak English. If in case you get 70% plus, only then you have a first class with distinction. If in case you get 60% plus, then you have a first class. If in case you get lesser than 60%, you have a second class. If in case you get lesser than 60%, you have no class, like that. You have to basically say, isn't it? How are we going to do that? Simple. I will tell if, leave a space. First row I will speak about. If I is equal to, how will you tell? Double equal to, like this. Single equal to means assignment. See, this means assign. Double equal to means check for equality. If I is equal to 0, I will tell. Or, how will you tell or, you might ask. In Python, tell or. That's literally, that's why I told you Python is so easy. Or if I is equal to last row, which is 4. That's not the only condition. Or, if the column is the first column, j equal to 0. Or, if the column is equal to the last column, j equal to 4, like this. Now, I will put a colon here. See, I'll put a colon. And then I will press enter so that Python knows whatever I'm going to write belongs to the if condition. Only if any of these conditions are true, it should do whatever I tell here it to do. And what should it do? Print a star. Print. Any confusion? I'll press enter. I'll bring the cursor to this I. And then I will tell, if this condition is satisfied, this. Otherwise, else I will tell. Otherwise, what should you do? You must not leave it. There's nothing called as empty. You must leave a space. That's what I'm going to tell. I'll put a colon. I'll press enter so that it knows if this condition doesn't satisfy, then it should do this. There I will tell print. What to print? What I should print is a space. So I'll remove star and I will tell a space like this. Print a space, after that leave a space so that it looks good for us. Or this time, let us not leave spaces so that it is visible. Okay, fine, we can use both, it does not matter. Is this clear to all of you? If it is clear to you, put a yes in the chat, because after all, we are doing this for your sake. I hope each one understood how this one simple condition can make all the difference, right? Great, you understood? That's wonderful. Let us go and execute and check if in case it works. So if I take you back, put in the relevant command, and if I press enter, there you go. Hollow rectangle you got. As simple as that. Any confusion till this point of time? Definitely, you can put an n value also and write it in general. It does not matter. I'm sure all of you will be able to do it. But let us go now and try to create one more pattern. What is the next pattern? Right? Watch it, my dear friends. This is the next pattern which I want to do. And the pattern looks something like this. What is the pattern, if you ask me? These are my rows, those are my columns. Now inside this is how I want numbers to come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20, 21 to 25. In other words, from 1 till 25, I want it to be filled. How are we going to do this, you might ask? Clearly, anyone with eyes can see that after all, it is a certain count that I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Instead of printing star or a space, I'm printing count. Instead of star, I'm telling 1. Second time, instead of star, I'm telling 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that, I'm telling. So you have to maintain a count, right? That's all. Look at this, my friend. I'm just going to show you the logic. Anyways, I'll just remove this code for the time being so that it does not distract you. Focus on the logic. I'm just removing that. Now, focus on the logic. Here what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create one variable called as count, because anyways count is required. So I'm just going to create a variable called as count. Naturally, the first count is 1. So I will tell count, your first value should be 1. Then what will you do, you might ask? Instead of star, I will print that value of count. Before printing the next one, I will first increase the value of count by 1. So 1 will become 2. After increasing it to 2, like this, see, I'll just increase it to 2, and then I'm just going to print it like this. That is what I'm showing. Any confusion? Next, I'm going to increase the value to 3, then print it. Next, again, I'm going to increase the value to 4, then I'm going to print it. Next, I'm again going to increase it to 5, I'm going to print it. Then that loop will get over. 5 stars you printed on the same line, but instead of stars you printed count. Cursor will come to the next line. Then what you do is increase the value of count, print it. Increase, print, increase, print, increase, print, increase, print. Cursor comes to the next line. Again, increase, print. Increase by 1, print. Increase, print, increase, print, increase, print. Cursor comes to the next line. Increment, print, increment, print, increment, print, increment, print, increment, print, like that. That's it. Cursor comes to the next line. Increment, print. That's all you have to do. Any confusion till this point of time? Now, clearly, you can see there is a difference between this output and what I showed you. There is a difference. How to do that I will show you, but let's write code for this. So watch it. I'll just undo and bring back the code which I had previously written. Everything you need not change. After all, what will change is inside here. So this if-else part, all that I will remove. Structure remains the same, isn't it? Now what I'm going to do is, I needed a variable called as count. So I will go on top. And there I will tell count equal to. And the first value of count, as you know, is 1. So I'll tell 1. In Python, no need for data type, no need for semicolon, all that is not required. Then what you might ask? Now, I'll come inside my J loop. I will tell print. Inside print, what to print is a question. What I want to print is whatever is the value of count, so I will tell count. After printing, I want to end by leaving a space, so I will tell comma, end by leaving a space. That's it. Now, the next time it prints, I don't want the same value of count to be printed. I want count to increase, because now if I just execute this as it is, you can see same value of count only will get printed. Incrementation does not happen. Watch it. If I take you and if I put in my command and if in case I press enter, you will get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 everywhere. No, incrementation should happen. So print count, before the next count being printed, increase its value by 1. How to do that? Let me show you. Some of you will tell, sir, tell count plus plus. I wish I could do that in Python, but unfortunately, there is no incrementation or decrementation operator in Python. It is not there. You have to manually tell Python to increase its value by 1. How to do this? Watch it. I will come outside print. I will press enter. And there I will tell print count. Then next I will tell take count value, count. Increase it by 1 by telling plus 1. And this result, assign that to count. So I will tell equal to count like this. As simple. This is also incrementation. In fact, plus plus does this only. Take the existing value of a variable, increase it by 1 and update the value of the variable. That is what plus plus does. Will this work? Definitely. Watch it. If in case I go back and if in case I put in my relevant command and if I press enter, then you got it this way. But as you can see, all these are double-digit numbers. But the first 2 rows have single-digit numbers. To be precise, from 1 to 9 is single digits. Because they are single-digit, this does not look like a rectangle. It's not aesthetic. So how will I make those single-digit numbers to double digits? Simple, by appending or by attaching a 0 in the front, by prefixing a 0. That's what I'm also trying to show you in this animation. Watch it. What I'm trying to say is these numbers from 1 to 9, all these numbers should become double digit, which means like this 0 should be attached to it, which is what I'm also showing. Then it becomes everything looks double digit. Now, how do we do that here? Any suggestions anyone has? Let me see. Who can give me a unique solution for this? Of course, it's not unique. If you think a little bit, you can easily do it. How do I do this? Any ideas? Any ideas? No ideas. So all of you are sleeping. Sleeping or awake? Awake and sleeping. Use if. Okay. 0. Count is equal to 0, 1. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, very. My, sorry? Shivani said, if count in range 0, 10. Wow. Okay, very good, very good. Shivani, very good, Shivani. That's actually the right solution. But some of you saying, start count from 0, 1, that doesn't work, right? Because human beings can write that. But if you attach a 0 in front of a number in Python, it means it will treat it as an octal value. We should not do that, right? We still want it to be treated as a decimal value itself. Anyways, interesting logic. Nandini and Monica are saying is count is less than 10. Okay, that is also good logic. Great, wonderful. Great, good, Monica, Prasad, good logic, good understanding. Shivani, good one. But now let me tell you, easiest way to do it for those of you who could not figure it out. See, mechanically, I will not print count. What I will do is I'm going to check if count value lies between 1 to 9. If it lies in this range of 1 to 9, then before printing that value of count, I will first print a 0. And I will tell the cursor to be in the same line. Then I will anyways come and print count, which means it will be 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, like that. How are we going to do this? Simple. I'll leave just one more line of space, and then I'll go back on top, and there I will tell if in case count value. Okay, I want to check if count value lies in the range from 1 to 9, isn't it? Just the way I'm speaking English, I can write code in Python. See, I will see if in case count lies in space the range of 0 till 9 I want. If I want 0 till 9, should I tell 9 or 10, my dear friends? If you've been focusing, you know stop is exclusive. So if you want till 9, tell 1 extra. So tell 10. That's it. I'll put a colon there. It will see if count value lies in this range, condition is satisfied. If condition is satisfied, I'll come inside if, and there I will print a 0. I'll print a 0. Now tell me, you should put it within quotations because otherwise nothing will get printed, right? 0 I want it to be printed. Now think and answer. After printing 0, should the cursor go to the next line, or should it be on the same line, or should I leave a space? Think and answer. Same line, space, next line. How should this print end? I want you to think and tell me. Same line. Very good. And how do you tell same line? End equal to open quote, close quote. That's it. That's what I'm going to do. End, inside, out. You're telling it inside, tell it outside. End equal to open quote, close quote. Very good. I'm very happy to see that you guys are participating and are in sync. Let's execute and see whether this logic works. If I go back, and if in case I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, there you go. Problem solved. It looks like a rectangle now. So did you see? We started with a print, and now easily such logics you can write. So usually for our students, almost around 150 to 200 such patterns is what we solve. Not because you will go to an IT company, you will sit and you will be doing patterns. Don't think you will go draw stars in your software job. It's just that by doing such questions, logic builds up. How to use loops becomes clear. How to use conditions becomes clear. How to manipulate cursors become clear. And this is what in a real life problem you will be using in one way or the other. So I hope you understood the thought behind such questions, right? Anyways, till here, I hope everybody understood whatever I spoke about. Wonderful. Can we go to the next question? Are you all excited to solve the next question? If you're excited, put a yes in the chat so that I know that you guys are with me and you are listening to each word that I'm saying. Good. Okay, wonderful. So now let us continue, my dear friends. Next pattern. What is the next pattern, you might ask? This is the next pattern I want to do. So these are my rows, these are my columns, and this time if you observe, I have made this row start from 1 till 5, column also 1 till 5. There is a reason for that, so that easily you can derive this logic and look at this, okay? First row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How to attach the zeros, you know. Next, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. See in the second row, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Then 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. This code will anyways give you the structure. No doubt about it. But how are we going to fill these values inside? That is the bigger question here. How are we going to do this? I'll give you a hint also. Try to derive a logic or a correlation between I value and j value, and see how if you put some kind of an operation between I and j value, you can get this value. That is all. I can't give you another hint. Then that will be the solution itself. Who can tell? Harish and Bhuwani says I into j. Okay. Manish says multiply. Okay. Wonderful. Good. Very good. So see, simple guys. First row is 1. First row, first column. Look at it. 1 into 1 is 1. Next, same row, second column. 1 into 2 is 2. Same row, third column. 1 into 3 is 3. 1 into 4 is 4. 1 into 5 is 5. Next row is 2. Second row, first column. 2 into 1 is 2. 2 into 2 is 4. 6, 8, 10. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's it. In other words, these values is nothing but the row number into the column number. That's it. Which means what I should do here is, instead of printing count is not required here. So I'll go on top, remove that count equal to 1. I'll remove that. I don't need count equal to 1. I'm not going to print count. So I'll remove that count also inside print. I'm not going to increment count. If count only is not there, what will I increment? I'll remove that also. But here what I should print is, I must print I into j. That's what I'm doing. I into j is what I'm going to print. Any confusion till this point of time? I into j we have printed. Similarly, to see if I into j is a single digit number, so that a 0 can be printed before that, don't you think that is what you should see here? If in case count you don't check if I into j lies between 0 to 9. I into j every time. That's all. It's over. So if in case I go back, and if in case I put in this relevant command and just execute it, watch it. I'll just go there, put the command, press enter. There you go. You have got 0, 0. You have got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. You not got the output. Why, if you ask me? That is why, go back to the code. See here, what is the row number? 1. What is the column number? 1. But here, what is the first row's number? 0. What is the first column's number? 0. Obviously, everywhere here 0 into anything is 0 only. Every other row, first one will be 0, whatever is the row number into 0 will be zeros only. What is the point of that? So that's why if you want this output, the count should begin from 1. So watch it. I'll go here. I'll tell range begin from 1. It should go till 5. It should go till 5 means increase it by 1 till 6 because it is exclusive. Here also I'll tell 1 to 6. That's all. Now if in case I go back and I put in the relevant command and I execute it, watch it. You have got the output. So did you understand why there I started from 1? So think about these kind of things. These small things is where students get stuck. They're unable to derive logic, but it's very simple. Once you understand it, you will automatically take off, right? And that is a teacher's responsibility. It is just to generate interest in you. Rest is up to you, right? Teacher is 10%, you are 90%, right? Anyways, let's go back. This much is done. Next, what are we going to do? Now, think about it and answer correctly. This is the next pattern, my friend, which I want to do. What does the next pattern look like? The next pattern looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my pattern. Again, everything you know. In fact, here one thing straight you can see is everything is single digit number, which means this condition at all is not required. I'll remove that condition. That condition itself is not required. Just one thing you will have to change, which is what you are going to print. Now think and tell me, how are you going to print in such a way that you get this? Think and tell me. Again, I'm telling you, look at IJ, derive a relationship. I plus 1, okay. One person has given the complete code. Whoever that is, name is not visible. Sorry. So, but I'm very, very, very happy to see that you're so actively participating in the workshop, my dear friend, and we love you for that. Okay. I plus j plus 1. Let us test that. See here, I is 0, j is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Plus 1 is 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. Plus 1 is 4. Works perfectly. Let us take the last row. 4 plus 0 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. Perfectly, it works. So it is I plus j plus 1. And that is what I'm also going to do. I'll just change that to I plus j plus 1. That's all. Now, will this work is the question. 100% will not work. Why? Again, focus. Where is the count beginning from 0? Where is your count beginning from 1? Obviously, it will not work. Let's just go back and change that. So it is from 0 till 4. Here also, I'll make it a 0 to 5. Clear? Let's go back. If in case I go back and put in the relevant command and I press enter, then there you go. Now you'll go to an Infosys drive, a Capgemini drive, a TCS drive. They will ask you this question. Sit and scratch your head and scratch your head and scratch your head. And then come out feeling demotivated. Oh, I don't know coding. Maybe I took the wrong choice. You know, all that is not required, right? In fact, when you fail, that is the biggest blessing you can get in your life, because failure shows you the limitations that you have, the disadvantages that you have, the gaps that you need to fill. If you always succeeded in your life, there is no meaning to life. It is only by failing that we have something to do. Think about it, right? So never fear failure. That's why they always say failure is a stepping stone for success. Without failures, there is no success. Failure is the stairs towards success. So don't fear failure. Go out there, be ready to fail, embrace failure, and most importantly, learn from your failures. That's very, very important. Okay. Anyways, let's go back. And I hope this is also crystal clear to each of you. Shall I go to the next pattern or you're bored? Shall I stop the session or shall I continue? If you're bored, I will stop. If you're excited, I'll continue. Continue. Okay, great. Wonderful. Let's go to the next pattern. Watch it, my dear friend. Now, in this next pattern, this is how it looks like. So here, oh, we have finally reached our end goal. This is our end goal. And some of you, I know, are waiting when that attendance link will be given. See, this is not your, I'm not going to not give you your hall ticket or something, so don't worry about it. Attend only if you want knowledge, not just to mark attendance, right? Come out of that mindset. You guys are going to become working professionals, right? And in the workplace, nobody is going to check your attendance. Yes, you will have to punch in and punch out, but ultimately it is your own motivation, your own interest, your own self-discipline which will take you forward. So now it's high time that you stop thinking like a student. For almost 20-21 years in your life you have been in that thought process. Now take responsibility for your own actions, because I want you to think about it for a second, right? See, 5 years from now, okay, 5 years from now, which car you will be driving, if in case you will have a car, right? which shop you will go to buy your clothes from, where you will go for vacations from, which phone you will have, whether that phone you will have in your pocket after selling a kidney or without selling your kidney. All these things will be determined by one thing, which is how good or bad a career you will have. That is very important, right? And the only person who can help you achieve your career goals is no one else, it is yourself. So discipline is important. Start thinking, start taking responsibility for your own life, and you will see that it will change tremendously, right? Anyways, shall we approach this pattern step by step? I'll just remove this piece of code so that, or let it be there, that is fine. Focus, my friends. How are we going to approach this? Right? So see here, there is a certain approach. There are a lot of conditions, obviously, which one has to be thinking here. It will not automatically happen. I'm just putting grid so that you understand. So there are a total of 11 rows, 11 columns. 0 to 10 means 11. Any confusion till here? Now, let us approach it one by one. First thing is, I want to draw this periphery. This periphery I want to draw. How are we going to do that? Let us start with that part, right? This part, let us start. Now, that is very simple. If the row is 0, print stars. As simple as that. Like this, there are going to be many conditions. So I'll just create a box for my conditions and I will put that inside that box so that we can collect all our conditions there. Similarly, next observe it. I want to do this part. This part. What is that? If j is equal to 0, if it is the first column, print all the stars. Simple. Next, let us talk about this part. Very simple. If it is the last row, in this case 10, then I will print all stars. As simple as that. Similarly, which is nothing but in general you can say number of rows minus 1 or n minus 1, because you can tell the n value here. As simple as that. Why n minus 1? If n is 5, this will be 4. So n minus 1. I hope you understood till here. Next, let us look at this. This is nothing but the last column. So last column means you can tell j equal to 10. Or a better way will be the last row minus, or the last column minus 1, which is nothing but again n minus 1, because the number of rows and number of columns are same, and that is what I am also just showing you, like this. Number of rows minus 1. It is n minus 1 only, because number of rows and number of columns are same. N value is the same. Any confusion till here? So you know how to do this, how to draw this line, how to draw this line, how to draw this line. Let's come inside. Let's start with that middle line. Middle line. That is very simple. If it is j is 5, then you write. But in general, how will you write? Because if the number of columns are 11, then the middle column is 5. But if the number of rows and columns is decided by the user will give a value, and depending on that you must print this pattern. How are you going to write this is the bigger question. Very, very easy. Think about it. How are you going to get this 5? One hint I will give you. N value only you should use. But how will you get it? Simple, my friend. Look what I will do. What I am going to do is, I will take 11 divided by 2. If I take 11 divided by 2, 11 is n. If I divide it by 2, what is the quotient? Quotient is 5, and that is only the j value which I want. But at the same time, I want to divide it in such a way that I don't get a decimal point. I should not get 5 point something. 5.5 I don't want. I want whole number 5. This is technically called as floor division. Floor division means you truncate or you remove the decimal part. So simple. If I take n value, divide it by 2, the quotient is nothing but the value of j, where this line should be drawn or where star should come. And that is what I am also just writing. Floor division in Python is always achieved by telling n /2, like this. See, single slash means normal division, double slash means floor division. You got this line also. Next, I want this line, this middle line. which is nothing but this value. Again, if the number of rows and number of columns are same, whatever logic you used here to get this value, don't you think the same logic you can use here to get this value also? Which means you don't have to think very simple. If I value is equal to n mod 2, then that is your condition. Simple, isn't it? So periphery we got, middle line we got, this line we got. Now we have to draw the most important part, which is these lines. These lines you should have. How are we going to do that? Okay. So, or even before that, first let us find out how to draw this line. These diagonal lines, let us figure out. First, let me start with this diagonal line. How to write code for this? Very, very easy. Think about it. See here, find a correlation between the row number and the column number. See here, 0, 0, print star. 1, 1, print star. 2, 2, print star. In other words, anyone with eyes knows that if I value and j value are same, then those places you must print star. And if you do that anyways, you'll get a diagonal. And that is what I'm also just telling, that all you have to do, see, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, like that. It should match. That's what I'm also telling. If I value is equal to j value, this condition is satisfied, print star. What else you might ask? Now let us go to the other opposite diagonal. Now here a little bit of thinking is important because it's not straightforward. Here you can see I value is 10, j value is 10. Similarly, I value is 1. I value is 0, j value is 10. I value is 1, j value is 9. I value is 2, j value is 8. I value is 3, j value is 7. How are you going to find a correlation? I'm just writing so that you understand. These are all my I values, which I'm just listing here. And these are all my j values, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, like this. If I add both together, these are all my I values, these are all my j values. If I add them together, see here, 0 plus 10 is 15, 9 plus, 0 plus 10 is 10, 9 plus 1 is 10, 8 plus 2 is 10, 7 plus 3 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 5 plus 5 is 10. Don't you think everything is resulting in 10? Now in general, all this in green is nothing but row value or I. All this in pink is nothing but my column values. Don't you think this can be replaced by I and that can be replaced by j? And not only that, whatever was that 10, 10 is nothing but n minus 1 that we have established previously also, because there are 11 rows, 11 columns. N value is 11, n value is 11, n minus 1 is what is going to give you this 10, as simple as that. Which means here I am going to write, here j I am going to write, and I plus j, if it is equal to n minus 1, then this is my condition for which I should print these stars. And if I print these stars, I will get this type. And that is what I am also just in general showing you, and this also I'll put it inside my condition box. So we got this periphery, we got this line, we got this line, we got this diagonal, we got this diagonal. All that is remaining is this part. How to do that? Simple. Stay with me and focus. Focus is very, very important. So watch it. Let's start with this. Again, see, I is 0, j is 5. I is 1, j is 4. I is 2, j is 3. I is 3, j is 2. I is 4, j is 1. I is 5, j is 0. How to find a correlation? Very simple. One simple arithmetic operation can do it for you. What is arithmetic operation? Let us look at it. I'm just writing all those values in general here. So watch it. 0, this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If in case I added 0 plus 5 is 5, 4 plus 1 is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 0 is 5. Everything is 5. Now tell me, this right side 5, how will you get 5 in general? If you have been focusing, I want to just check how many of you have really been focusing. We have written a general structure for this 5. Solution is here only. But think and tell me, how can I write 5 in general? Who can tell me? N floor division by 2. As simple as that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is I value. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 is j value. Which means if I plus j is equal to n floor division by 2, then that is my condition. which is what I'm also just writing here and showing you. N floor division by 2, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is nothing but my I value, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is nothing but my J value. This is my final condition, I plus J equal to N floor division by 2. That's it. Let's come to this slide. Think, focus. 5, 0, 6, 1, 7, 3. I think already you're getting the answer. If I write all my I values, and if in case I write all my J values, what does it look like to you, my dear friend? Think about it. See, I'm just writing it here. 5 minus, if I do 5 minus 0, for 6 minus 1, 7 minus 2, 9 minus 3, or 9 minus 4, 10 minus 5, everything gives me 5. How do you write 5 in general? N floor division by 2. These are all my I values, these are all my J values. I minus J, if it is N floor division by 2, then this is my next condition. That's it. Now we will come to this diagram. Almost done the pattern. What seemed so complicated is just a couple of conditions. Next line. Next line, look at it. I is 5, this is 10. 6, this is 9. 7, this is 6, right? I mean 8. This is 8, that is 7. This is 9, that is 6. This is 10, that is 6. That is 5, like this. Any confusion till here? What is the solution? Just write it down, you will only get it. If in case you just list those values down, you can clearly see that this is the correlation. 5 plus 10, 6 plus 9, 7 plus 8, 8 plus 7, 9 plus 6, 10 plus 5. Everything gives you 15. How to get 15? All of you know that. Tell me, how do you get this 15? Think, okay, now 10 you know, 5 you know, but I want 15. Who can tell me? Let me see. 10 you know the condition, 5 you know the condition, but here it's all 15. How will you write it? This is where a programmer's thought process plays a very important role. N plus n divided by 2. Okay. Okay. N divided by 3. Okay. Very good. See, my friends, good. All of you are giving different solutions. I love that you're thinking, but 15 you got. I'm saying 15 if you divide it is what? 10 plus 5. How to write 10 in general, you know, which is nothing but n minus 1. How to write 5 in general, you know, which is nothing but n floor division by 2. Combine both and write. That is what I am also showing you here. This is nothing but 10 plus 5. 10 how to write, all of you know. 5 how to write, all of you know. N minus 1 plus n floor division by 2. That's it. Combination of both. Yes, some of you are coming with even more unique logics. 100% there are multiple ways to solve a solution. It is not like this is the only logic which will work. Your logic will also work, but I am trying to correlate it with what you already know. As simple as that. And what is all this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I values. What is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5? J values. I plus j if it is equal to n minus 1 plus n floor division by 2. That is my condition, and that is what I'm going to put it inside my box. Last part of the pattern, which is this line. How are we going to write this line? Simple. Again, let us just list all the I and j values. Watch it. I'm just listing all the I and j values for you here like this. If I list all the I and j values, then you can clearly see this is 0 and this is 5, right? Similarly, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like this. Now, what is the correlation between 0 plus or 0 plus 5 is 5, or let us do it. 0 minus 5 is minus 5. 1 minus 6 is minus 5. 2 minus 7 is minus 5. 3 minus 8 is minus 5. 4 minus 9 is minus 5. 5 minus 10 is minus 5. But I don't want minus. Then why should I subtract I minus j? Why don't I subtract j minus I? Then I'll get positive value. All of them results in which value? 5. How to write 5 in general? N floor division by 2. These are all j values. These are all I values. If j minus I is equal to n floor division by 2, don't you think, my dear friend, that is the condition that you must be satisfying? And that is what I am also just writing here. J, I. If j minus I is equal to n floor division by 2, that is the last condition which I will place. These conditions you check. If these conditions are satisfied, print star. If it is not satisfied, print space. Pattern is ready. Are you ready to test whether this logic will work? All that is remaining is for us to write code for it. So I'm just going to start writing code for it. Watch it. All I'm going to do is there first I will make it equal here. So there, yeah, n you can just make it as okay, fine. Make it as 11 initially. Yeah. Here also I will just make it as n I will tell. Yeah. Here also I will make it as n. Any confusion? I'll remove this print. Mechanically I should not be printing it. First is the condition. So watch it. I will just tell if. And then I'm just going to put all these conditions. I equal to 0 or j equal to 0 or I equal to n minus 1 or j equal to n minus 1. Now, if I write, it will go into the diagram. So I want to split this line and write it in multiple lines. How will you do that in Python? If you ask me, there is a trick for it. Watch it. Like this, you must put slash and write it. If I press enter, then Python knows it is the same line being split into multiple lines and writing. So it is the same line only. No space, so I'm writing it like this. Next condition is, j equal to n floor division by 2. Next, or I equal to n floor division by 2. Next is I equal to j, or I plus j equal to n minus 1. Again, I will split the line to one more line and I will write it. Next is I plus j is equal to n floor division by 2. Next is I minus j equal to n floor division by 2. Next is or I plus j is equal to n minus 1 in brackets plus n floor division by 2 in brackets. I'm putting this bracket so that it is clear to you. This is for that 10, this is for that 5. Any confusion? Or last condition, j minus I equal to n floor division by 2. If all these conditions are satisfied, I'll put a colon. I'll press enter. Inside that if, I'm going to tell print. What to print? A star. After printing the star, I want the cursor to be on the same line or one space we will leave. So I'll tell end equal to space like this. End equal to space. Any confusion? If none of these conditions are satisfied, I'll come to else. And in else, what should I do, my dear friend? All I have to do is print a space. So I will tell press. Yeah. I know a little bit it is intersecting, but by now you know the logic. So anyways, I'll just tell print. And what I should be printing is nothing but, okay, I'll just take it on top. Fine. I'll just tell print. And there I'm going to tell what I should print is a space. After printing a space, cursor should be on the same line. Not even a space should be left. Okay. I'll just tell end equal to space also. Space also works. Any confusion till here? Will this work, you might ask. Let us go execute and check. Right. 1 second. So, all right. Or was missing there. Okay. Here also or is missing. Okay, fine. Because they had missed these ors. Ors are important. Just because you split it into a line doesn't mean you can ignore or, right? Fine. Let's go execute and check. If in case I take it to the command prompt, if I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, you can notice you've got it. But it doesn't look much. If it was bigger, it would have looked better. Let us increase the number of rows and columns, right? Let us make it a 17 maybe, so that it becomes even more visible. Watch it. I'll just go make that a 17 there. If I do that, that's the beauty of writing code in general. It'll automatically adjust itself. So if I go and if I put in the relevant command, and if in case I press enter, then you can notice like this. I've got. Was it difficult? It depends on the approach. If this was directly given to you in the interview, I don't know. There could be many, many talented, brilliant students here who would have done it. But only and only such people who invested time in coding. Tell me how many of you could have given a solution for this pattern, put a yes in the chat. And if you did not know the solution for the pattern before this, put a no in the chat. It does not matter. Now if you know, it is better, right? Good. So did all of you understand? If you understand, please put a yes so that I know that it is crystal clear to all of you. If you have really understood, put a yes in the chat. Did all of you understand? Yes. Wonderful. Great. Before you know it, almost 1.5 hours is done. I wish I could do many more patterns like this. In fact, if you are interested, I will be putting a video in the WhatsApp groups where many more such patterns I have solved, triangle based patterns. How many of you are interested in that? Only if you're interested, I will be putting it, because simply what is the point of me putting it? Only if you watch it, I will be putting it. Please put it. Okay, fine. 100% I will be putting that along with the recording of today's class, right? So my dear friend, now the time has come which all of you are waiting for, which is for your precious attendance link to be posted. The link would be posted in the description, in the chat box right now. Take 2 minutes time, fill it correctly, because I told you it will directly reflect on your certificate. Do not waste this opportunity. Make sure, take 2 minutes time and fill it. I'm not going to go anywhere. I will be right here. Just fill it immediately so that you can be getting your certificates.